This is the amount of food that an average consumer in Europe throws away every year. It's about 95 kilos, between 95 and 115 kilos of food. And I'm not talking about your scraps in the kitchen. I'm not talking about peels. It's food that could have been eaten, that was good to eat, but got wasted prematurely. I did not always know this. The first time I heard about it was watching a documentary about a year and a half ago. And normally when I do this, actually the same thing happens. It's always about subjects that I heard on the news or talked about in school. And it kind of always gives me the feeling of, you see, I just knew it. I knew it all along. It always reinstates my previous position. And this time, something else happened. This documentary told me the story of food waste, the story of fields of oranges being thrown away, of ditches full of bananas and tomatoes for as far as the eye can see. It told me the story of truckloads that go to waste every day because we don't know what to do with them. Let's look into the garbage bin and see what's in there, and see what we're throwing away in Western society and why we're throwing it away. We have bread that's being thrown away by bakers because they want to keep their shelves stocked until the end of the day. We have grocery shops that throw away whole packages of fruits just because one of them has a small black dot on them. We have farmers that have to declassify vegetables only because they're too big, or because they have a weird shape, or because maybe the tip broke off and it got a bit brown. But this is food that's actually good for human consumption, but is being thrown away. On the other side, have you guys ever wondered what happens to all the food that is associated with some kind of holiday? So all those pepernoten from Sinterklaas, or the lovely chocolate letters that we love so much from Tony's. Well, I can tell you, after the 5th of December, they just get chucked out, because it's better marketing-wise to start selling the Christmas goods, because that is what brings more money in than selling stuff that is already past the date that is associated with it. And this is food that is actually still good, the date is still good, but it's no good to us anymore, so we throw it away. Then at consumer level, at home, so us, we throw away food because of bad planning, or simply because we're used to having a stocked fridge overloaded with vegetables and with fruit and with milk, just like we're used to having a closet full of clothes and shoes and stuff that we don't use. Well, the same happens with our fridge. There's a lot of stuff in there that we don't use. And at the same time, there's also been a lot of confusion about the best before date and about the use by date. Now let's talk about this. And let's clear that confusion for once and for all. We have the best before date, or the use by date, which is used on highly perishable goods. It's on milk cartons, it's on meat packages, and it usually tells you that after this date, the product has some kind of health risk attached to it. So you should be very careful eating it. But then, as the name actually says it, the best before date indicates that the product is best before that date. So it indicates a quality standard. It indicates that the product will be at its best texture, the best color, the best taste. But we throw it away because we think that it's dangerous to eat it after this. And all of this waste sums up to an amount of 1.3 billion tons of food a year. It's 1/3 of what we produce for human consumption. It gets thrown away prematurely. Now, let me convert this number to how much it is in kilograms, just to show you how much zeros are in this number. I can tell you, it goes on for a bit. There's the last one. We could actually feed all the hungry people on Earth twice with this amount of food. And it's not about the food that is being wasted. It's not only about that. We also have to think of all the resources that we're wasting with this. All the water, all the soil, all the energy, all the labor, the manpower that went into the production of this food. It's simply being thrown away. And in a world with finite resources, we should start thinking about not wasting food, wasting resources as if they were endless. But yet we are. Now, this documentary, it left me with a feeling of disappointment, frustration, and frankly, I was angry. I was really angry about the fact that I thought I had been doing my part. I've always eaten my scraps, but at the same time, I always choose the bananas that don't have the spots because obviously I'm paying for them, so I want the best for my money. So without realizing, I've been contributing to this wasteful economy just like everybody else. So I started thinking, and I went out, and out of the anger, I went and talked to the grocery shops in my neighborhood, which is actually here, right around AUC Zeeburg. And I went to the Javastraat, and I talked to them. I asked them, is it really, really true? Are you throwing away this much food? Because frankly, I didn't want to believe it. I hoped they would say no. They didn't. Everybody told me exactly the same story. At the end of the day, all the fruits, all the vegetables, all the things that they couldn't sell, they had to throw away, and it's a huge amount. So I asked them, what can we do about this? Like, I had to just do something about this problem. I couldn't just sit there, know about it, and not try to change it. I asked them if we could maybe just collect the food. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet, but just something. It has to be eaten. This is good food. There's people hungry, and we have to just give it to the people that need it. And to my big surprise, it took me exactly 1 hour, or maybe even a bit less, to get 10 collaborating stores. The people, the store owners, were so happy to give me the food that some of them actually immediately got the crates out and wanted to give me the food right away. I said, no, wait, I have to think about this for a second. I don't know where I'm going with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but at least it gave me all this energy, the fact that people actually wanted to do something about it. Because just ask yourself, would you throw away food when you at the same time have the chance to give it to somebody so it gets eaten? We have this inherent instinct for not wanting to waste food. So I went home, I went home and started thinking. And that was the beginning of Taste Before You Waste. What we do is we go with a lot of AUC students, actually. We go around the neighborhood and go to the stores 7 times a week with our carrier bike. And I can tell you, most of the times after the first 3 stores, the bike is already full. I'm not talking about full until here, but it's stacked on top, in the backpack, on the back, everywhere where you can carry food, there's food. And that's after 3 stores just one day. So imagine how much we're throwing away in the whole neighborhood or in the whole city and in the whole country, and then globally how much it is. We pick it up and we bring it to different charities. 3 charities actually that we work with. So we bring it to charities 3 times a week where it gets a second chance. This unwanted food is cooked for people that need it. And I know that this is not the solution to the problem. And I love giving food to charity because it gives you this energy and people are so happy with it. But at the same time, I know that there's more that we need to do because we have to find the solution. We have to cure the problem and not just deal with the symptoms. So what we also do is have a free food market every week on Wednesdays, and as of 2 weeks, we're starting a second food market in different neighborhoods, and we talk to people. We give them out free food. Now, how many people in here know what a market is? Show your hands. About everybody. And if I would ask you, for example, what is a market? Like, what do people do at markets? Buy things, exactly. I think most of you would answer exactly the same thing. You buy stuff at markets. That's the way we have markets in our heads. So what happens when you have a market where you don't buy stuff, but you just get it? People start asking questions, and instead of you pushing people to listening to this story of there's too much waste and we have to stop that, so they come and they actually want to hear what you want to tell them. They come and ask you, like, why is this here? Why is it so much? And you tell them it's garbage, and people they're flabbergasted. They're completely, you sweep them off their feet. And, well, immediately they start asking you questions on how they can change it and what they can do at home. And it really helps to make people realize and make people listen to what you want to tell them. And besides this, we also organize dinners. We cook for them, and we make people taste the food that would have been wasted. Because in our society today, we've learned, or we're kind of afraid of tasting food because we're afraid of maybe getting sick. Now, I can tell you, if milk is bad, you will smell it as soon as you open the carton. And if you didn't, which can be because maybe you're sick, your nose is full of whatever, you drink it, you won't die after one sip of bad milk. You just spit it out, done, wash your mouth, and it's done. You throw away the milk. But the thing is, if you don't taste it, maybe you're throwing away milk that was actually good, milk that you could have eaten, milk that you could have tasted before you wasted. So people, please start tasting your food and stop wasting it. Thank you.